back here with Cindered Shadows. After battle briefing time! So fun, isn't it? I love this game. Ah.
How serendipitous that you have come to our aid.
Yes, if you hadn't shown up, that one assassin would have killed us all. But thank you, Elfric, seriously. I appreciated that. Nice to meet you also.
I'm relieved that I wasn't too late. I do hope my presence proved useful.
Your voice sounds so damn familiar. So the last time we got to help our Ashen Wolf friends for the first time, basically. Got them in a tight spot with some invaders, and we're in this underground coliseum, which has statues of the Four Saints, which is kind of weird. And the Death Knight showed up, which was entirely unwelcome, but got us some cool XP and stuff, so whatever. And so this time we're going to debrief, we're going to go back to base. I'm probably going to finally get to forge something, so we can stop messing with everything. And it'll be great. Well, we're not messing with everything. That's apocalyptic.
No doubt about it. We needed the backup.
So you're Elfric.
Professor, I do believe this is the first time our paths have crossed, is it not?
Like I said, I wouldn't know. I usually don't pay attention to the boardroom meetings, unless my name is said, or Bernadetta's.
Of course, I have heard all about you from Her Grace, the Archbishop.
Right?
Allow me to introduce myself. I am Elfric. The church has granted me custodianship of Abyss.
She does like talking about me, doesn't she? Granted you custodianship, so they're like, not only highly aware of what goes on down here, they have a representative. And they're still letting this stuff happen? Pleased to meet you.
The pleasure is all mine. I am sure you have already been told about Abyss's unique situation. For varying reasons, all of the inhabitants here are unable to live a peaceful life on the surface.
Indeed.
People like the Dagdans and Almirans, who suffer undue persecution across Fodlan.
Yes.
The poor and the sick, who are forced into Abyss. Not to mention all the other unfortunate souls who ended up here.
There are many reasons to be here, it seems.
I believe it is my sacred duty to provide a place for those who have nowhere else to go.
Yeah, have you ever thought about broaching the subject with them about, like... I mean, I guess I should have done it at some point. Well, I didn't know about Abyss. Next time we're in one of those boardroom meetings together and we're like 5 tables away from each other, we should get together and ask some serious questions about why there's not more support down here.
Right. And the poor and sick living in a sunless crypt helps them... how?
Because at least they're living?
Enough, Claude. Please, forgive my friend, Elfric. We would love to hear more.
In all honesty, I understand his concern. I dearly wish I could provide a better life for my flock. But it would appear that Her Grace and most of the church consider the existence of Abyss to be something of a nuisance.
Also peculiar. Rhea is not known for her restraint and tolerance, so if she really wasn't fond of them, why wouldn't she have done something about it by now? That can't be true.
No. I've heard tell of those within the church who intend to purge Abyss.
That's the church for you. They make a big deal out of helping the helpless, when it suits them.
We can't just sit back
When
and
it's good for
accept the way
image.
Things are. We've got to fight the system.
Right, but, the system is a dragon in this case, Balthus. Do you have any bright ideas about how to deal with it?
Sure, I'm here to hide from literally countless bounty hunters. But I'm not the only one in need. You're in a bad way too, Happy. You can't just let the church walk all over us.
Too true.
Yeah, well, I don't think she was suggesting
For all who
that.
dwell in Abyss, we must help dear Elfric to turn the tide.
Can we discuss this away from where all the corpses are?
I am overwhelmed with gratitude. Your fervent support is all the reward I could ask for.
Well, worry not. The fervency of my support will only increase from here on out. Please tell me fervency is a word.
As for you, Professor, I must beg a favor of you.
Shoot. What's the favor?
The Ashen Wolves are a house in name alone. They are eager students with no teacher to guide them.
I see where this is going.
Find it in your heart to take them under your wing. I would be most grateful.
I don't know how to teach.
Naturally, your official duties take precedence, so you need only help out when your schedule allows.
Well, I'm already here all night anyway, so...
Wait a minute, Elfric. Where's this nonsense coming from?
My guy, how was that the first thing you said this entire conversation? When Elfric pipes up to be like, hey, you should help them. He's like, whoa, helping me? That's going too far.
I second that question. We have no need of a professor when we have you.
Dear flock, I am a mere guardian. I can protect you, but I cannot enrich your minds.
Please don't oversell my talents. All I show them is how to hit things with various weapons.
Though I call this gathering an academy house, I have long lamented that it isn't truly so. Now, I am blessed with the opportunity to correct this. The professor who stands before you has garnered a great deal of acclaim on the surface.
He exaggerates.
A most trustworthy and esteemed teacher, to say the least. What's more, I happen to be acquainted with the father
What?
of this fine individual.
You know Gerald? When did you meet my father?
I met Gerald back when he was a knight. I was born and raised in Garrick Mach, so I
Oh.
often had the opportunity to spend time
You
with
look wonderful for your age.
him. Your mother as well. She was a cherished friend of mine. I was even present for their wedding.
What? How have I never heard of you? What is this?
Parents like yours, I have no doubt that you possess the kindness and patience necessary to guide these students.
Well, that's very, very sweet, but this is starting to seem extremely sketchy.
But
It'll be fine. It's not like we're strangers anymore. Say, Elfric, don't you need to take care of those thieves?
Ah, right you are. Please, excuse me. Oh, and
What, the ones
one
we
more
are
thing.
axed? Is he just gonna clean up all the bodies?
If ever you would like to hear more about your parents,
Yes.
I would be delighted to share my memories with you.
How's now? Do you have time now? Actually, I'm like severely sleep deprived, but do you have time now? I'll write it down so I'll remember what you said in the morning. Shucks, I guess he's gonna go do stuff with thieves. Right, so what I was saying earlier about I thought there was something about your mother going on in this. I guess we're gonna get it from him then. That's most delightful and interesting. Chapter 3?
Cindered shadows. The rite of rising.
Wicked. That's the thing that they did with all those chalices before that didn't work. Oh, I thought there was gonna be a bit of a discussion. Never mind, here we go.
Ah, Professor, to what do I owe this pleasure?
Tell me about my parents! I want to hear more about my parents.
Ah, yes, of course you do.
I'm glad we're actually
glad
getting
to
this
tell
now.
you
For a minute, I
all
thought they were going to be like, wait, 4 more chapters for that.
Where to begin? If you have something particular in mind, please ask and I shall answer as best I can.
Yeah, what was my mother like? Tell me about my mother.
Kind and wise. I would often see her in the library, her nose always buried in a book.
Well, the apple does not fall far. What was my father? Well, that was much. What was my father like back then?
Gerald was very much then as he is now. His knights would have done just about anything for him.
All right, great. That sums it up. Bye.
Whenever he had time to spare, he would instruct the children of the monastery in combat and tactics. Just like those wide-eyed youngsters, your mother and I made a hero of him in our minds. When I learned that Gerald and Citri were to be married, I was quite surprised. Back then, Gerald was something of a mentor to me. As for Citri, she found it difficult to express her emotions.
That's so. I know the feeling.
It was only when she was gazing at Gerald that I ever saw her smile. A smile that rivaled the very sun.
It sounds like maybe you had a thing for, like, both of them.
His tales of the outside world must have seemed like a lifeline for one as frail and guarded as she.
Frail.
Indeed, she lacked the strength to travel beyond the monastery.
Oh. Does Gerald at some point in the main story say that she worked here as, like, a nun or something?
The only souls she ever spoke with were a select few within the monastery walls. I can picture it now. The stories he told her. His striking words and his boisterous laugh.
That makes plenty of sense as to why he would always be bringing her back flowers and stuff.
Listening to him
if she
must
never
have
would have seen
given
him.
her a great deal of hope. As for me, I could never have become like Gerald, as much as I wished for it.
What do you mean? You wanted to be like him?
I suppose I did. He would tell stories from a century ago as though he had lived them himself.
Right, yeah, well, I'm sure it's just a coincidence. He's a great storyteller.
No matter how fervently one studies the stories of old, that is no easy task. Professor, you traveled with Gerald before coming here. You must have seen a great many things, yes?
Oh, not much. Ramire Village, rocks, the Ogma Mountains, some more rocks. Occasionally there was a river, then more rocks.
Forgive me for overstepping, but do you not regret foregoing your travels to take up residence here?
Yeah, but I mean, there are cute girls here, man. You gotta live for something. I enjoy my work here.
Well then, I suppose I have no choice but to assist you as best I can.
Fair enough, I probably deserve that. That's a pretty weird thing to say, considering my job is murdering people and then teaching people how to murder people.
To shape young minds must afford you a unique perspective on the world.
There's a way of putting it.
I am certain my unsolicited advice is nothing but a nuisance, but please, hear me out.
Well, I'll be the judge of whether it's nuisance once I've heard it.
It is my hope that you will live a full life, experiencing the world, fostering strong relationships with people.
I'd like to, but you can't build support in the DLC.
Do so for dear Citri, whose wish to experience such things shall regretfully never be granted.
Aye. That's why you asked me to teach the Ashen Wolves.
I cannot deny it. It is my own stubborn notion. One that Her Grace will likely not think kindly of.
I mean, do we have to tell her?
Beyond my personal motive, I believe that you alone can guide my flock to even greater heights.
Your flock? Why are the wolves your flock? What is your relation to them?
And perhaps you will learn from them as well.
I already have.
I have taken enough of your precious time.
I've learned that Valkyrie's a dope-ass class.
Always.
Roger that. He's almost like a little too nice. There's something a little off-putting about him. And the fact that he was close with my parents, but they've never mentioned him. Well,
Did those
Gerald.
foul bandits whom we bested at the arena confess to anything?
And just before we carry on, I think that's the first time Bila's mother's name was ever brought up. I'd heard it on the interwebs and such, but Citri, good to know. And we learned a bit more about her. I mean, that sort of corroborated what Gerald said. All we get out of Gerald is that she was kind and smart. So smart. Really. But it makes sense that he was saying he was always telling her about his travels and bringing back flowers and stuff, and that showing her like unusual flowers always made her super happy. And I was going like, well, I mean, she lives at the monastery which is like the biggest repository of knowledge in the continent. Why would she not have seen those? But it makes plenty of sense if she had never really left it, that she didn't get to see them in person. Anywho.
Not a word. And they wouldn't name names. I got the feeling they didn't know much themselves.
That's always how it goes.
However, one thing is clear. Whoever hired them is after something here in Abyss.
We're not as lucky as the main game. We can't always just find a very obvious declaration of intent label on the body of one of the bandits. Just like, I'm here to kill the Archbishop. Even if it's a ruse.
Yeah, that's gotta be it. They must have been on a treasure hunt or something.
Something like that. They were all, where is it? We haven't found it yet.
Treasure hunt here? I don't get it. What is there to find in these dingy tunnels?
Something related to the four apostles, I bet. At first I thought they might be after your cresty blood, but they said it, not them, so presumably not.
Elfric, was it? Looks like this is ringing a bell for you.
Well, something does come to mind. But the notion is preposterous at best.
We're all ears. This is a world where you can sigh to make worms appear. Nothing is out of the realm of the extraordinary. Nothing is in the realm of the whatever.
Never discount a wild hunch. Sometimes they're closer to the truth than you'd think.
What he said.
Any lead will do, so long as it helps determine our next course of action. Please, go on.
As you wish. Though, again, it is quite far-fetched.
Stop qualifying it and tell us.
There is a long-standing legend here.
Mm-hmm.
It is said that deep underground, below even Abyss, is a place called the Chasm of the Bound.
That does not sound like a fun
wherein
place.
lies the Chalice of Beginnings.
Or, depending on your stance, it may sound like a really fun place. Chasm of the Bound.
Huh. This is the first I've heard of it. So you believe Abyss is connected to that place?
Lots of twists and turns down here, so it's not the craziest idea ever. Must be well hidden, though.
I'm sure we'll find it in the next 6 chapters or so.
I once happened upon an old document that mentioned a ritual called the Rite of Rising. The text was incomplete, so I was unable to achieve a full understanding of the topic. I cannot even guarantee the authenticity of what I read, but it stated that the Chalice of Beginnings is a sacred object, crafted by order of Saint Seros herself.
We got a bit of this earlier with Rhea and
Saint
Alois.
Seros apparently used the artifact to carry out the Rite of Rising, along with the 4 apostles.
Chalice. I thought there were 4 chalices. No, maybe not. It was just the 4 saints from the 1 chalice. I don't know. What is the Rite of Rising?
It is a ritual that is believed to have the power to resurrect a life that was lost.
Not just God, but any life.
However, the ritual failed. The 4 apostles bound the chalice, so that it would never fall into a mortal's hands.
They didn't even put it in like the ocean or anything.
The Rite of Rising, huh?
Ah, yes, the Chalice of Legend. My father mentioned it to me a very long time ago.
Somehow I doubt that that's what its explicit purpose is if they kept it. Wouldn't you like try and destroy something like that or throw it away if you really didn't ever want mortals to use it?
A secret treasure of the church. A chalice, powerful enough to resurrect the dead. Exhilarating, no?
Scary.
Quite. It is no small wonder that people are after it.
Even so, we still don't have much to go on. We must gather more information about this legend at once.
It certainly could be. It is something they could be looking
I
for. So
wholeheartedly agree. I will do all I can to track down more clues within the monastery.
Thank you.
Although Garreg Mach's library is so well curated, I doubt any further records will be found.
I can tell you I've never read anything about it in that library.
We shall do all that we can as well.
Yeah, you're more likely to find it down here, I'd think. Down here in Banned Bookland. Chalice of Beginnings. Wait, no, that's not what it's called. Wait, the Chalice of what the hell was the chalice called? The Chalice of Chalicing, anyway.
Excuse me.
Hi, Ash. You're well excused.
I've only had the chance to speak with AELFRIC briefly, but he seems like a respectable man.
Yeah, ostensibly, yeah. Maybe my dad. Oh my god. Ash, don't look all at once, but that man over there just teleported. Yeah, he seemed pretty cool.
It's obvious the whole town has a lot of affection for him.
I can see why.
Kind of reminds me of Lenato in that way.
Oh yeah, I guess. Sort of like an adoptive father figure to the wolves, I guess. I see what you mean there. Oh, we're back here in Abyss, and wow, a lot to think about. So, Citri, the Chalice, just a lot to think about anyway. Hey, Ballas.
Got a lot of time on my hands down here. So I've been venturing even deeper underground. This place is loaded with winding paths and blocked off tunnels. It's a real maze. Only a few folks even know how to operate the gate mechanisms and hidden passages.
I didn't try, but it seemed like a pretty straightforward lever. Gate mechanisms?
That's what I said. Activate the mechanism and the gate slams shut. Bang! Actually, I'll level with you. Yuri and Constance are much better at scoping out that kind of thing.
Tracks? Hey, Elfie.
The Ashen Wolves got their name from the beasts who guard the Blue Sea Star.
Hey, that's my birth month.
The Archbishop named the house herself, in fact. In spite of that,
What?
it seems she looks unfavorably upon our house of late. This saddens me greatly.
Excuse me? The Archbishop? What? Why would she? Why would she? What? No, tell me about that. Why would the Archbishop voluntarily make this and then put stuff it underground and be like, I don't want to hear about it? I can't believe he's single. Who, Yuri?
I heard AELFRIC came to Yuri's rescue in the attack that happened recently. That's just what you'd expect from someone as kind and strong as he is. I can't believe he's single.
Oh, Elfric. Maybe he's not over Geralt and Citri. Or maybe he's Ace. Who can say? Not this reporter. Is there stuff? No. Why can there be nothing in the scrap heap? Byleth wants. Oh! Never mind. That was well worth going. Thank you, Ash. By the way, what the hell's going on in the Waysier's room? Anything here yet? Oh, this room makes me feel uncomfortable. What's going on in here? What is being made in the back? Hey, Hilda.
Had a chance to poke your head in here, Professor?
Yeah.
It's a fortune teller's room. Judging by all her mystical-looking doodads, I think she's the real deal, too.
Okay.
I wonder if she does matchmaking. Maybe she can help me sort through my countless suitors.
I don't believe there's any such person who can help you with that. Look at the pretty reflections in the puddles. I never noticed that before. This place reminds me of, it's a bit in Castlevania Season 4, I think, around the beginning, where they're in this, like, big underground treasure heap. It makes me think of this. Or this makes me think of that, whatever. Claude and Yuri. Now this is a a devilish combination. Why not tell me your hidden agenda? Must be hard work. Why do I feel like there are two different conversations going on here? Those two axe wielders are still chatting away. One of them is extremely passionately saying their point.
Well, well. The Imperial Princess, the Crown Prince, and the next Sovereign Duke. Must be exhausting trying to suss out each other's intentions, huh?
Not Dimitri, he's pretty straightforward.
Nah, we get along great. I mean, we kind of have no choice. A petty squabble could start an all-out war.
A petty squabble could start an all-out war.
And it doesn't take a fancy title to have a hidden agenda. Isn't that right, Yuri? Cheeky. And off base. What do you think, friend? Do you think I'm off plotting nefarious deeds?
Oh, undoubtedly. Yes, I do.
Brutally honest. I love it.
I mean, everyone here has told me as such.
Even so, that's a bit much, wouldn't you say?
Your
I do what
words.
I need to get by.
All I said was yes.
More than that. As for the others, they've all got their own struggles, but they're nothing if not trustworthy. Humbling yourself while promoting your friends. Gotta say, I don't hate this side of you. Seems we're in mutual neutrality of one another. I like that you keep your cards close. We'll get along just fine, you and I.
You're like, I get the sense that Yuri can see that he's, you know, using a moniker and everything. I almost wonder if they're like speaking in thieves' cant right in front of me or something. Yes, I am sorry. I'm still not rich enough to afford any of those vases. Hey there, how's it going? My name's Byleth. I'm right over here. Okay, never mind. Hey guys.
Pardon the odd question, but something has been bothering me for a while now. Your hair. Was it always that color?
Me? Or Edelgard? Well, because one of those is a sensible question to ask.
That is an odd question.
Her.
But yes, if you must know, it was a different color when I was a child. How could you know that? Is it possible that we met before the academy?
Oh yeah, you wouldn't remember it because of all the torture and trauma you went through that like wildly changed your and shaped your formative years, but we were best friends. What are you two talking about?
It's a long story. Now is not the time or place.
Yes, of course. My apologies.
Sure, but I mean, you guys talk about whatever you want. I don't care. Hello, kitty. Meow.
Hey, you.
Hey.
There was a time when I did much
Whoa.
fighting.
What happened to your
I
accent?
was captured. Then, I escaped. My home is far away now. My mother is waiting for me. But returning is... it is far away.
That's so sad to hear. Her dialectical anomalies or whatever are not far off from Petra's, and there's a trace of an accent, so... Well, a trace, that's maybe a bit of an understatement. So they're obviously saying she's not from Fodlan, but maybe Bridget, but I guess it doesn't really matter. When the point is that she is not, does not have a safe place up top.
I worry that I will be here until I am very old.
I hope you find your way out. But how would you even get out of here? You'd have to just like suppress your identity and pretend you're not worshipping the gods you worship for as long as it takes to get a boat.
Hey you, listen up. I've got something to report. The bandit sightings have stopped, for now.
Yeah, good.
I still won't let my guard down, though.
Roger. Abyss Keeper. But even then, we've seen Petra's not really allowed back home, so I suppose it could have been a similar situation. She might be some kind of, essentially a political prisoner of some kind.
What else? Notice how everyone's in high spirits?
Hmm.
Know why? I do. It's because AELFRIC is here.
Yes, no one's told me to bugger off this time, which I found a market improvement.
He's real special, that one. He saved my life, and lots of others here, too. He's earned some hero work.
At least you don't lack for self-awareness. Hey, you two.
4 apostles. God, this is killing me. I'm on the verge of remembering something. I can't shake the feeling that one of their food or something.
Noah, right?
The records should be here some... Oh! Hello, Professor! It's good that you've come.
You always talk to yourself when you're looking through old books?
I realized
Well, I guess you were
that
talking to
I missed
Leonard.
an opportunity to congratulate myself on my military achievements.
Well, there's no time or better time or place. You could do that anywhere.
But now that you're here, I have an audience for
Oh, you want an audience?
Indulge me, won't you?
Sure.
Oh, behold, the proof that the utmost honor in combat belongs to none other than I, Constance von Nouvelle. What a relief to get that off my chest.
There you go.
Now, where did AELFRIC get to? I must have words with him.
Are those words, the combat of honor of duty belongs to none other than me, Constance von Nouvelle, or whatever? He's in the classroom also. I understand it would be like a technical nightmare to try and have, write a whole bunch of extra bits of lore without, like, contradicting any of the stuff you wrote already, but it would be cool just if they had a few, like, interactable documents around here, just so you could see how it differed from the official records the church keeps.
Professor.
But you understand well enough that there's a lot of cub shite in the church's library anyway. Elderly man.
The folks who've lost their homes on the surface. Abyss is all they've got.
So I can see.
The place used to be nothing more than a den of criminals who did whatever they pleased.
Now it's half criminals and half really sad people.
Now, we got AELFRIC to keep an eye on things. He understands that keeping people fed's the way to keep them calm.
Seems to. Perhaps it's not fair of me to mistrust him. Maybe he's just a nice guy who learned a few things about chivalry from Geralt and then wants to help some peeps. Hello, Happy?
Only been on the job a few moons, huh?
More or less, yeah.
No wonder you don't come off as a mindless church flunky.
Hey, thanks.
Plus, you don't flap your trap all the time. I appreciate that. I hope you never change, no matter how many years you spend with the annoying people up there.
Don't suppose you're here for a drink, huh?
Still no.
They aren't any better, I'll tell you right now.
Good. Sorry to hear that.
Maybe folks down here wouldn't be so awful if they could get their hands on something worth tasting.
Did you know I wouldn't call everyone here awful?
Oh, am I kidding? Nobles are just as...
Glad we got a few optimists in this bar. Man, they are really just leaving bottles of whatever lying about. Ah, man, I saw that. You see the way the light reflects off the table there, and I thought it was a little item. God, how do you know what anything is? The way they're just spread out all over the counter.
What do you require?
Let's replenish all battalions while we're here.
Farewell.
God, I have no money. Hey, hey!
Abyss is a sprawling place. Some houses like mine. are actually quite far from the center of town. What brings me all the way here, then, you ask? I came to see Aelfric. Bring good luck.
Wow, Aelfric must be the esteemed patron Constance mentioned, right? They really do have a high opinion of him here. Far from the center of town, so what is it like over that away? Is it just more corridors and all like this, I guess? The mind does pry.
Or make her queen.
I was never part of the plan.
You mustn't. Not ever. Okay?
Okay, back off. I'm not gonna annoy her. I'm gonna try not to anyway.
Sometimes Aelfric gives out candy. Stick close by him, and you might get some too. But save a little for me, okay?
Sorry, no can do. I love that. When you talk to everyone, it goes, "You have gathered all the information." I'm not sure why I find that so damn funny. So we can obviously, I think these facilities are all available to us now from the battle menu too, so we don't have to do them here. But I'm going to anyway because the music's nice.
Please come again.
Right. So we don't have much money, and ore is quite limited. So how many smithing stones do we have? 40. I better start using them at some point, just so we don't wind up with extra stones we can't carry. Although I suppose probably we won't even get to that. I don't know. All right, so we got a venom axe. Who would that be better for? Ooh, we got a bullion and the crescent sickle. I guess it's best for Dimitri for now because he's the one with lance high enough to wield it. Oh right, and no one can actually increase their lances at the moment. So Dimitri is literally the only one who's going to wield it. I think I'm going to give the venom axe to Edelgard as tank. Could poison a bunch of people on the front line. Right, now I'm thinking I gave the Fetters of Dromi to Happy. So what is it? So the move again, I think, and the having damage, I think those are like the which is Aegis, and I guess it also has the whatever the magic version of Aegis is. I suppose, is it Pavi is the magic one? Anyway, I suppose that, I think the only thing it does if you don't have the crest of Oban, is that what it said? Oh, I think it was Oban. The only thing it does is increase your movement, so obviously it's a right sight less useful. That said, given Yuri's decent movement and like nimbleness, I don't really know that I ever want him to be able to... when it says move again, I suppose I never actually tried it on Yuri. I should put it on him next time we're in a battle just for a moment. Is it like you get 2 actions, or is it just like being mounted where you get Kanto? I'm not sure. The Aegis and Pavi's thing, I don't usually rely on those anyway, and it's not as helpful for him as a squishy rogue. So I think I'd probably prefer to give it to someone to increase their movement specifically. Which case, I think Claude makes the most sense at the moment because he's been, he's like our MVP at the moment. But I should definitely equip it to Yuri for a moment in a battle soon, and then just give a try at having him attack to see if it's like he gets 2 actions, because 2 actions with Yuri could be extremely useful, right? Especially with Mr. Foul Play over here. He could literally like teleport through a wall to swap places with someone, and then go kill someone on the other side of the wall, if it is double actions. But I'm guessing it's just Kanto, basically. So how much does it cost to forge the rusted sword into a less rusted sword? It's 210 gold and 2 smithing stones. So to buy a new one is like 350, right? 520. Okay, so it's wildly more cost effective to just forge the dang thing. But I also like forging training weapons because they gives them high durability, allowing you to use combat arts every 2 seconds. And with that said, I'm gonna buy Claude a training bow and Dimitri a training lance, and Edelgard a training axe.
Many thanks. Will this one do?
And I'm gonna try and forge at least them up. I just put those all in Violet's inventory. What's Hilda's accuracy like? Because I think Edelgard's is not amazing. 15. Oh, Hilda's is actually worse, so she would probably give her a training axe too. Or training gauntlets, actually, because she's a warrior. I'll give her both. I'll give her training gauntlets and a training axe. Alright, I'm losing a lot of money, but I'm saving. I stand by those decisions. Now, training gauntlets you can forge up to have a durability of 90, so I think I definitely want to at least do these. I probably want your... I'll forge your iron bow first because it's almost bust.
Is this it?
Into just an iron bow plus extra damage and accuracy. I dig is it. And shall I do your training bow as well? I'll wait till it's a little more broken. I should probably do that for all of them actually. But like your iron lance here is almost bust, so... Because forging it also repairs it. In fact, yeah, I probably should have been smarter and waited for all of it. Oh, interesting. Forging the train lance, it bumps the durability, which is good, but it doesn't actually increase the accuracy, which I didn't realize. Anywho, I think that'll do. Weapons and rather, items. Sorry. I might just buy a big old shield for Edelgard.
This one?
It's a lot of money.
Thank you. Please come
But it's probably
again.
worth it. Unfortunately, you can't check the weight at this point, but if I just count it up, so her total weight is 10 right now. Minus 3 is 7. 7 times 4 is... Don't help me, 28. So she's got enough strength so that she's... Oh, and she's... Well, her weight's minus 8, actually, so... It's not a big deal. She could probably handle a steel axe without losing too much speed. Anywho, I don't think I messed around with the new people's battalions. No, I did, didn't I? Did I? Yeah, I was messing with them. You certainly didn't have the Kingdom Archers before. Very good, and if those are all done, and we talked to everyone, found some stuff in the thing, forged some stuff up, then we're good. Let's proceed. At least just have a look at what this next mission is. So it looks like it will be timed that we can manage, we can go a day in Abyss, a day in the battlefield, a day in Abyss, and a day on the battlefield. Search for the chalice. Oh, we're really just gonna go looking for that right away?
The answer is no. I will not allow it. It is far too dangerous.
Ah, but if we can determine its origin, we may eliminate the very danger that vexes you.
Yes, but I think the point that he's getting at is that that comes at risk to you, which is not great.
You already know this, but there are plenty of folks down here who can't defend themselves. If these attacks keep up, eventually they'll find themselves in harm's way.
They ain't wrong.
Yes, I am aware. However, for the time being, you must promise to refrain from acting recklessly. My dear Flock has suffered enough as it is. You needn't take any further risks.
Keeps using that word. It's creeping me out.
Surprisingly overbearing, isn't he? He must really care about you guys.
She's probably thinking about her brother.
Most certainly. Yet, if we fail to nip this problem in the bud, I shudder to think what will transpire.
I mean, loophole, he said you must promise, but then didn't actually wait for you to promise, right? So, you didn't promise a damn thing. Hey, guys.
Aha! It's you! In the nick of time, as it were.
Why? What do you need me for?
Come, let us venture into the deep, deep underground. The chalice of legend awaits!
Alright, sure. Sounds like fun. We're going underground?
But of course! Deeper and deeper still beneath the monastery, to the chasm of the bound.
The name will never not make me laugh when I hear it. Just sounds so extremely menacing.
Did you? I surely did, but we must read between the lines. AELFRIC wants a solution as badly as we do, and so we shall seek out the Chalice of Beginnings and present it to the church.
Whoa. Oh, actually it was called the Chalice of Beginnings. Presented to the church. Now that is quite a bold move. I fear we'll be as quickly labeled thieves as heroes if we do that.
If our enemies desire the object, this should halt all future attacks on Abyss. Brilliant, no?
It should help.
I'm not so
somewhat,
sure about
but...
According to legend, there's some kind of binding that protects it from would-be thieves.
Whoa. Where'd you come by this? I guess you've been in the library too.
Even if we find it, we can't just walk up and take it unless we figure out how to break that thing.
Ah, but that is simplicity itself. We shall first ascertain whether it is still bound, and then we shall release it.
So let me get this straight. He was like, we don't know how to release this thing, and you're just like, well, we're gonna just, we're gonna go release it and stuff.
But where is this chasm anyway? I've never even heard of the place, much less seen it.
As luck would have it, I have discovered yet another secret which it appears to go deep.
This is why you're all gung-ho.
According to my superior instincts, it undoubtedly leads to the chasm of the bound.
Well, I mean, it's worth a look anyway.
Huh. I suppose it's worth a look. I don't care about finding some old cup, but if it could help us protect Abyss, I'll support the cause.
I'm with you there.
You surface dwellers do not have anything else to do at present, do you? You'll assist us, will you?
What about sleep? Is this all like the same night? Have we just only been down here for like 2 hours, or has it been like a few days and stuff, and we've just been going back here, sneaking out every night? It feels like someone would notice at some point. They have like guards doing patrols and stuff. We're busy. We'll go with you.
I don't have anything scheduled before my next nap, so I guess that's fine. Edelgard doesn't look too thrilled, though.
That's putting it lightly there, Boyle.
Splendid! It is decided. We leave at once.
Oh, why are you so upset about this, Edelgard? You don't have to come. I'd appreciate it if you did, but...
Lost right now. How long have we been walking? I'm guessing a full week.
A week? Ridiculous. It's been a few hours at most.
No, I spent at least a month.
Aside, if this takes much longer, I'm concerned about our lack of food and water.
Oh, the whole place is damp. Just suck some moisture out of a nearby brick, Edelgard, and suck it and keep going.
He's got a point. How about we trek a bit farther, and if we don't find anything, we turn back?
We should probably, like, paint on the ground where we've been, so we know where to go next time.
Constance, I find it rather curious how quickly you became fixated on the chalice. Care to explain?
I just assumed she found this passage and got excited.
Oh, no. Why would I be fixated on a silly little legend for some supposed ulterior motive?
I don't think he actually mentioned an ulterior motive.
Steam, you think this will convince the church to help you restore your fallen house?
How could you possibly know that? Have you been snooping within the confines of my very mind?
I shall restore House Nouvelle to its former glory at all costs. It's practically your catchphrase.
Aha! Just as I suspected. Constance is the former lady of House Nouvelle.
I mean, she introduced herself as Constance von Nouvelle. You know House Nouvelle?
In a sense. Until just a few years ago, it was a house of viscounts in the west of the Empire.
Right.
House Nouvelle lost its status 5 years ago, as a result of their part in the war.
I see. 5 years ago.
Huh. You speak as though it has nothing to do with you.
I fear all I can do is ask forgiveness in place of my useless father. If doing so will comfort you in any, then please accept my...
Save your breath. That will not be necessary. There is only one thing that I desire. For the sake of my parents, who fell courageously and selflessly in defense of the Empire. For them, I shall restore our status, revive House Nouvelle, and return it to its former glory. All that I do, even advancing my magical prowess, is to that end.
That's, wow. That's a lot. So what drove you down here then? Just, I guess, the shame of you're having your house fall to ruin was just like, it was not worth staying up there, I guess.
And in reward for all that hard work, you were forced to live underground. Life's cruel. It's like you took a shortcut back to the starting line. Or maybe you're just unlucky.
What are you saying? I never intended to share that side of me with you.
Look at that. It's a good thing we didn't turn back. That looks mighty chasm-like, if you ask me.
We've been standing right beside it, just talking about Constance's past for like half hour. Very interesting, though. I read like a bit about House Nouvelle in like the little what the hell?
Beneath the bridge in the monastery? Incredible.
What? We read about House Nouvelle in our main playthrough in that library. There's a mention of it in like the, like the log of noble houses. But I can't remember much about it. I read about it and I was like, oh, that'll be interesting in the DLC. I completely forgot what the book said. I think it mentions that they fell out of prominence not long ago, though. Beneath the bridge of the mountain. So we could have gone to this chasm of legendary whatevers if we had just taken a Pegasus and flown down onto the bridge.
Huh. I never thought I'd be gazing up at that bridge we've crossed 1,000 times from way, way down below. Are we sure this is the right place?
We are not.
It is.
No.
I believe. I hope.
How could you possibly know?
Constance. Jade. Aren't you the one who insisted that we find the chalice?
Fine. If you insist that I join you, then I shall. Satisfied? Oh my. I was quite rude just now. Please accept my humble apologies for treating you so foully.
Here it is. I knew there was something weird about her with light. Oh, of course. That's why she would have gone underground.
Stand beside such noble paragons. Allow me to dig a hole to bury myself in.
Oh god, that won't be necessary.
No matter how deep underground we are, I guess sunlight is still sunlight. Poor Constance.
Oh, underground. Oh wait, so like we're in like the foundation of the bridge? Oh, well, that would explain why it's all purple in the background. What's going on?
This is what Coco's like in the sun. That's why she lives underground.
Oh, fun.
I fear I cannot guarantee that this is the chasm of the bound. I have almost surely wasted our time.
Oh, Constance. It's still worth the trip. Look at all the fun sights.
Enough with the self-doubt, yeah? Just put one foot in front of the other. We'll have you back in the shadows before you know
This
it.
is also what I'm like in the sunlight.
Cheer up, Coco. We need you.
And now I have forced you into a state of pity. I feel so very worthless.
I guess this is funny, but I feel like the music is a bit insulting.
I admit, I have never seen anything quite like this before. Is there nothing we can do to help?
Happy? Keep Constance moving. If we don't start searching, we'll never find that damn chalice.
Fine, I'll just push her a bit, I guess.
I must ask you to cease. You shall soil your hands upon my filthy bag.
Yeesh.
No soap could possibly. Huh?
Just like in Balthus, stand over here with one arm. He casts a shadow.
Feeling. I sense magic in the air. There is something just ahead. The binding spell, perhaps.
I don't feel anything at all. Wait. Actually, I hear something. Something big. And it's moving.
It's a monster, isn't it?
I gotta say, I thought she was like a bit surprisingly flamboyant when we met her underground. And it tracks now, because it totally balances out.
Perhaps there is something in place that is guarding the chalice.
It seems like a reasonable bet. Oh heck, it's one of them heckin' statue golem things.
Some kind of gigantic toy. I don't have the slightest idea what's going on, but I know it doesn't bode well.
It's got a crest of Saros on it, look at that. Nothing that's marked with the crest of Saros is, sorry Edelgard, safe.
It's been a while since I've met an enemy that can put up a good fight.
What about when Hilda critted you like 3 days ago?
Hey you! It's your master, pal. I'm gonna pummel you into my own personal shield.
Ruh-roh. Balthus, I wish you had said that after we won the fight. Now we're gonna look like real tools when we charged in here all boldly and died. Righty, let's see this map. How many of them are there? How many extra soldiers are there beyond that? Where are we positioned? Blah, de blah, de blah. I was wondering how we would ever find an outside map with, in a place called the Abyss. Oh heavens, phantom soldiers. Ah, it's another one of these damn traps. Wait, but the phantom soldiers are children of the goddess, those who are in some way connected to the goddess herself and were birthed by her grace. Sothis, your grace gave birth to a bunch of tanks again. This is just like a... it's a little like the sealed forest anyway. There's the tiny little crevice we came out of. This is wicked, though. So why the hell... Well, I guess it doesn't necessarily... It's not necessarily that the church has anything to do with these big mechanoids. Because I think the ones that are protecting, like, the... You know, there's like the one... There's the one paralogue where you go underground and like Rhea's all like, hey, I left some treasure for you. By the way, there's a bit of a trap. And there are like 16 of these just like come out to kill you in a bunch of phantom soldiers. I think those ones, I don't think they would have said Children of the Goddess on them. Maybe I'm wrong. I think they specifically were like church affiliated. So it may be that these ones in particular, the church has no knowledge of them, but if they do have knowledge of them, then why the hell are they protecting whatever's down here? Questions abound. Right, okay, so we're bringing everybody. I already messed with everyone's items and all. How should we begin the approach? I suppose there are slightly less bads on this side, and plenty of them are lances, so... In fact, there are no swords on this side, so... We bring Edelgard over here, maybe. Oh, interesting, I'm the only one that needs to be sortied. So in theory, if we wanted to bump up our wolves levels a bit, we could drop behind some of our people here, but I think I'm just going to bring everyone every time anyway. Probably. Is the wiser thing to do. If we have Edelgard and Hilda over here, then they can go and start taking on the warriors and the lance people. Unfortunately, this one's weak to lances, and this one's weak to axes. I guess we can have Dimitri and Claude take up this side. I don't know. Oh, poor Constance. At least she'll have higher defense here anyway. We'll figure something out anyway. What's our win condition? Find the chalice. Oh, it's here? I'm waiting for one of these to just say chalice in the inventory section. So I guess we're going to be... Oh, a sealed device that requires the spellbreak key to activate it. That seems like the kind of place you would hide a... Oh, wait a moment. There are a few of those. I don't see anything here listed as a spellbreak key. But I assume these altars are where the chalice is going to be. Either way, I suppose if we don't go investigating things, we'll still have a chance to battle all the enemies down. Next time on Cindered Shadows. So wow, wasn't expecting so much about Constance this episode, but it puts a lot of things in perspective. I feel like we have a good picture of her now. I like that they're taking some time to give us to get into these characters. Like we already know a bit about that Balthus has. He's got lots of bounties on his head, so that's why he's hiding out here. Happy and Yuri, we don't have quite as much information, and now we know we sort of get Constance's deal. Mighty interesting. Did I not even look at these things? Oh, of course I didn't, because I wouldn't ever have given you authority. I would have given you health. This one's literally just useless in the DLC. Duelist Blow, if it initiates combat, grants avoidance plus 20. That's dope. Right, so next time we'll be fighting this battle. It looks like I don't know that it'll be super long, but it won't exactly be short. And the enemies here, they're not like overwhelmingly powerful, but they're certainly a step up from before. Still a lot of slow enemies, though. Not counting the assassins, obviously. And Edelgard is lightning fast, as well as powerful, so she's going to be like one of our most powerful people for taking out other armor knights. Especially because her defense is now like 35? 37! Look at you. Very good. Next video going on the channel is going to be some more Tales of Symphonia. And I can't wait for the next time we play this, because this DLC is a good balance of story and gameplay so far. I'm not sure why I was like a little worried going into it that it was going to be mostly battling, but it balances both of them pretty well. Considering how in the main game a lot of the story is told through supports, there's obviously a lot of stuff that we're not getting of we won't get of the characters yet, but they're still doing a good job of character building and the like in like the intermittent story scenes and the scenes back with the Abyss and all. So that's all. Oh man, I'm so enjoying this. And this fight looks like it's gonna be quite fun actually. That's all for now, though, so thank you so very much for coming around to this episode of Cindered Shadows. Hopefully I will see you in the next one. Thanks for coming around. Hopefully I'll see you around. Emma's gonna be out of here now. Peace! They look like animal creatures we fought before. Are they? Oh, it's a dodo, so we haven't actually. It looks like an axe beak, but it's a little different one. Thank you. I think I just missed my parry. Alright, now what is your ability? What are your talents?